The Bootstrap Paradox isn't just a science fiction trope. It's a real philosophical puzzle that raises profound questions about the nature of time itself. Welcome to Void and Matter. Today, we explore this intriguing concept and its implications for our understanding of the universe. What exactly is a bootstrap paradox? Put simply, it's a causal loop. It's an object, a piece of information, or an event that has no origin. It's a snake eating its own tail forever. In our opening example, the symphony exists only because you took it to Beethoven. But the version you took to him only exists because he wrote it down. The music literally came from nowhere. It just has. This isn't like the grandfather paradox, where you try to change the past. This is a situation where you create the past using an object from the future that the past then creates. It's a perfectly self-consistent, but maddeningly impossible loop. Science fiction is filled with famous examples of this. In the movie Terminator, Skynet sends a robot back in time to kill Sarah Connor. The destroyed remains of that robot are then found by Cyberdyne Systems, who use its advanced technology to, you guessed it, create Skynet. Skynet invented itself using its own future technology. But what does this actually mean for reality? This is where the puzzle gets really deep. First, it completely shatters our understanding of cause and effect. We live our lives based on the simple rule that a cause must come before its effect. You light a match, then the fire starts. But in a bootstrap paradox, the effect is its own cause. The fire lights its own match. This isn't just weird. It violates some of the most fundamental principles we use to understand the world. Second, let's talk about free will. The time traveler in our Beethoven example thinks they are making a choice. They feel like they have agency, but do they? The loop can only exist if they do exactly what has already been done. If they decide at the last minute not to give Beethoven the music, the entire loop collapses. This suggests that if you ever found yourself inside a causal loop, you wouldn't be a person anymore. You'd be a puppet, forced to play out a part in a script that has no author. So, how do physicists and philosophers try to solve this? There are three main escape routes. Solution 1. The universe says no. This is Stephen Hawking's chronology protection conjecture. It basically says that the laws of physics themselves will conspire to prevent these paradoxes from ever forming. A time machine that could create such a loop would either self-destruct, or wormholes would collapse, or something would intervene. The universe, in essence, has an immune system against paradox. Solution 2. The multiverse getaway. This theory says that when you go back in time, you're not entering your own past, but a new, nearly identical parallel universe. So, you give Beethoven the symphony in universe B, he writes it down, and that universe now has the music. But the music you brought came from your universe A, where it was originally created by someone else. The loop is broken because it's spread across two separate timelines. The paradox is avoided, but the question of the music's origin just got a lot more complicated. Solution 3. It's not a paradox, it's a feature. This brings us back to the block universe theory. The past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Then the loop isn't a process that starts. It's a permanent shape within space-time. The symphony never had an origin in time because the loop exists outside of our linear perception of it. It's a self-contained, eternal object, like a knot in space-time. It doesn't make sense to us, but maybe it makes perfect sense to the universe. So, the bootstrap paradox leaves us floating in a sea of questions. Is our universe a single, protected timeline? Is it one of an infinite number of branching realities? Or are we living in a static block where some stories have no beginning and no end? It's a puzzle that shows just how little we truly understand about the nature of time. What do you think is the most mind-bending part of the bootstrap paradox? Let me know in the comments.